The scent of rain-soaked earth was Elara's refuge. It was her whole world. Her fingers, stained with rich, black soil, traced the plump curve of a winter gourd. This little patch of land, her garden, was everything. The vast, harsh shifter realm was not, simple, quiet, and truly hers. But then, a shadow fell across the thriving patch of moonwort. The sudden disruption made Elara's blood run cold. She didn't have to look up to know it wasn't a local. The air felt heavy, charged with power and a metallic scent like distant, ancient lightning. She rose slowly, pulling her plain linen apron tighter. Her heart skipped. Two men stood at the edge of her fence. They wore the colors of the Crimson Moon Pack, deep, intimidating blacks and silvers. Elara Vane, the bigger one, grunted, his voice a low, gravelly sound. "I am," she replied, her voice steady. "The Alpha King, Damon, requires your presence," he stated, as a hard, undeniable command. "The king requires my weeding services," she asked, injecting sarcasm to mask the panic gripping her lungs. "A prophecy has awakened," the second man spoke. "The Blight is upon us. The bloodline of the earth must bind itself to the line of the moon." "I am no bloodline of the earth," she argued. "I am a simple woman. I grow food." The shifter took a step closer. "You are Elara Vane. Your maternal grandmother was the last true earth speaker. You come, or we bring you the safety of the entire Crimson Moon Pack. Now rests on your decision." "What is the Blight truly?" she asked, her voice low. "A curse," the smooth-voiced man said. "It kills the wolf inside. We need your lineage to break it." She looked at her simple wooden pendant. She had to go. "Give me 1 hour," Elara said, the decision solidifying. "I have things to arrange." By the time they reached the keep, the setting sun cast long, menacing shadows. The obsidian keep was black, cold, and dominating. Elara was led into the grand hall. And there he was, Alpha King Damon. He sat on a massive throne, the air heavy with authority and deep, profound sadness. He looked at her, and his lips curved into a bitter, brief smile. "You have spirit, Elara Vane. We shall see if it is enough to survive the task ahead." As if pulled by a string, a stunning woman in crimson stepped forward. "Seraphina." "My king," Seraphina's voice dripped with honey, "this half-breed is not worthy to stand upon the dais of ascension. To choose her is to tempt the Blight." Damon turned his full, terrifying attention on Seraphina. "Her bloodline is the only one left capable of binding to the moonline. Your insolence is noted. Seraphina, do not question the prophecy again." Damon faced Elara again. "Hear me, woman," he murmured, his voice low. "Private, this is not affection, this is duty. My true mate is dead. I will not love you. Your only value is your lineage. Fulfill your role, and you will be protected. Fail, and you condemn us all." "I understand, King Damon," she replied, her voice firm. "I seek no affection. I only seek my freedom, which I will claim once my duty is complete. You will treat me with respect, and I will save your kingdom." The heavy, jagged rubies of the crown settled on her head. The gilded cage was also a target painted on her back. That night, the supposed honeymoon suite felt less like a bedroom and more like an opulent prison. Elara peeled off the ceremonial robes. Damon stood stiffly by a massive window. "The king should know," she said. "I do not submit easily, and I will not sleep in the same bed with a man who sees me as a temporary fixture." Damon turned. "You won't have to," he answered, his tone flat. He pulled back a tapestry, revealing a heavy, iron-bound door. "These chambers are designed to be entirely separate. Your safety is paramount." But then, a pack guard burst through the door, his face pale. "Your Grace." "The Blight, it's accelerated." "The beta, his wolf is silent." Damon was instantly Alpha King again. "Where?" "The Western Barracks. And there's this strange rash on his arm, green and black, like mold." Elara gasped. Her world tilted. That rash, it matched an ancient pattern her grandmother had warned her about. As if summoned, Elara ran past Damon. "No. That's not a curse, Your Grace. That's a contagion. A specific, targeted magic." Damon grabbed her wrist, his grip hard. "You recognize this?" "I think so," Elara breathed. "I need to see him now because if I'm right, every treatment you've used is actually making him sicker." "Lead the way, Luna," he commanded, releasing her wrist. The air in the isolation wing was thick and heavy, smelling sharp with disinfectant and a primal, metallic tang of fear. They found the beta, Jax, thrashing weakly on a caught. The green-black rash was winding across his chest, looking like veins of corrupting ivy. "Stand back, let the Luna observe," Damon commanded. Elara knelt beside Jax without thinking. She closed her eyes. "I am weak and belong only in the shadows," her internal monologue screamed. But then, she felt it, a cold, sickening pull as fire bloomed beneath her skin. Her unique power, the Earth connection, answered. "It's not a curse," Elara declared, opening her eyes. "It's an anti-magic. It's targeted. It's draining the natural shifter energy. Someone is purposefully spreading a weaponized form of corruption." "A weapon?" Damon repeated, his voice dangerously soft. "Yes, a counterspell of the earth," Elara confirmed. "I need to ground him. I need soil, fresh, living earth. The keepstone is dead to me." "There's a patch of earth just beneath the South Tower's foundations," Damon stated instantly. "I need you to carry him. He needs to feel the earth now, or he dies." Damon moved with brutal efficiency in the span of a breath. The king and the reluctant queen were racing through the cold tunnels. The South Tower's chamber was a tiny, musty space. Damon gently lowered Jax onto the dirt without another word. Elara placed her hands directly onto the infected skin. With every heartbeat, she didn't fight the contagion. She simply absorbed the corruption into the earth. It was excruciating. As the truth unraveled, Damon watched. Mesmerized, he saw the green-black corruption on Jax's skin slowly recede. He saw a hidden, frightening strength. Who? Damon's voice was a ragged whisper. Who would possess magic strong enough to target the essence of a wolf? Not only that, but who knew your specific lineage was the only counter. Elara opened her eyes, exhaustion clouding their usual brightness. "The rival faction, they must have human magical operatives in their employ, someone who studied my grandmother's lore." Despite that successful healing, Elara swayed, and Damon caught her instantly. His arms went around her, a genuine act of concern, warm and solid. "You risked your life," Damon stated, his voice husky. "I risked my freedom," Elara corrected, pulling back slightly. "This proves I can help now. We talk about my freedom when the fight is done." Damon looked at the cleared skin of his beta. "If you save my people, Luna, I will pay your price. Now tell me everything about your grandmother's lore. We need to know who is behind this." Come morning, Elara was exhausted but triumphant. However, Serafina walked right in. "You look rather soil-trodden, Luna," Serafina drawled. "I was busy saving the life of your beta's mate," Elara countered simply. "A wonderful parlor trick, but don't mistake novelty for necessity. Dear, your little plant magic is a temporary salve. The king seems satisfied with my current arrangement." On the other hand, Serafina's tone dropped, becoming oddly conspiratorial. "Satisfied? Damon hasn't been satisfied since Camilla died. Because of that, he will never let himself love again. He chose you, a human vessel, because you are safe, temporary, disposable." "I don't need his love, Serafina," Elara said, meeting her rival's gaze. "I need his word, and I need to save my people. Your pettiness won't distract me." Later that afternoon, Damon led Elara deep into the Forbidden Archive. "The contagion is spreading too fast. We need the source of the attack. We believe the rival faction is led by the Alpha of the Dark Howl clan," Damon revealed. "They have a human source," Elara insisted. "I need to know what they use to create the anti-magic." "The counterspell is you, Luna," Damon said. "No," Elara challenged. "My magic is the antidote. The reverse spell is the cure. I will not be disposable. I will not be your bandage. I will be your shield, and your only option." Damon pointed to an iron book. "That is the chronicle of the first contagion." The writer noted the source of the magical sickness was located in a hidden, forgotten place where stone meets sky, bound by running water. Elara's mind raced. Stone meets sky, a mountain fortress, running water, perhaps a subterranean river? Meanwhile, Damon stepped close, the proximity dangerous. "If you are right, the rival faction is hiding their magic source in an abandoned Alpha site. It's a risk of the highest order, because if we go there, we expose the two most critical people in the kingdom, you and me." "Then we go together," Elara stated, her voice trembling slightly, but firm. "My core strength is rooted in earth. I'll recognize the energies. Your strength is lethal force. You'll protect me. It's a synergistic approach." "We leave at dawn," Damon commanded. "We tell no one." At the same time, the night was thick and cold. Elara felt utterly exposed. Damon moved like a shadow. Stay close to the path I clear, Luna, Damon muttered. My pace is slowed because I am searching the earth, Your Grace, Elara retorted still. He stopped, waiting. They're a heavy, cold signature, leading north. They've traveled this route within the last day. Damon gripped her shoulder. We don't know this territory. Elara, you are the sole antidote. You cannot be compromised. I know the risk, Damon, Elara said, using his first name, and I know I am more than just an antidote. That's why you must trust my methods. As if fate demanded it, a harsh, high-pitched crack broke the silence, a twig snapping, far too close. Damon shoved Elara behind a massive boulder before she could move. He pulled a silver-hilted dagger. They've found the trail, he whispered, the sound a low, rumbling growl. Stay low, do not make a sound. They will hunt the wolf, not the human. The dark howl shifters were close. The scent is mixed. One growled, Alpha presence, fresh, but tainted with something weak. But then, Damon did something unexpected. Without warning. He threw a small, heavy piece of obsidian rock into the bushes. The two shifters broke cover. What followed was a fast, brutal fight. Damon was a blur, precise, swift, and utterly merciless. Snarls thud. Moments later, Damon returned, his clothes torn, a thin line of blood running down his jaw. They are contained, he clipped out. You risked too much, Elara chastised. She reached up and gently wiped the blood from his chin. Damon gripped her wrist. I protect my assets, he said, and yet, his grip lingered. And I protect my assets, Elara countered. Look, she pointed to the spot. These are concentrated doses of the anti-magic contagion. They weren't tracking us. They were delivering the infection further south. The Dark Howl clan is organized. We move faster. We will reach the site of the first contagion by midnight. As the bond pulsed, Elara realized her goal was no longer just freedom, but survival and acceptance. Damon built a small, smokeless fire while Elara tended to his scrapes. The way you moved back there, was that your wolf? Elara began. It is the alpha instinct to protect the boundaries, and the pack Camila. She loved this wilderness. I was supposed to protect her. She died of the curse? No, Damon said, his voice dropping to a low, painful rasp. She died in a political attack ambushed. Because of that, the elders believed the pack was weak. You are that distraction, Elara, and I hate myself for using you this way. You are not using me. You are trusting me with a life-or-death mission, Elara countered. She saw a symbol etched into the wall, a coiled serpent and a waning crescent moon. Damon, look, Elara whispered. This is the mark of the Serpentine Magi, a sect of rogue earth speakers. Just like that, everything changed. The Dark Howl clan is the muscle being supplied the magic by the Serpentine Magi. If the Magi are involved, Elara continued, the Blight isn't designed to kill the shifters. It's designed to enslave them by suppressing the wolf. Damon sprang to his feet. That symbol means the Alpha site is a Magi stronghold. We are walking into an ambush. Come morning, the final ascent was treacherous as the wind shifted. It carried the sickly sweet magical taint, now overwhelming. They reached a subterranean chamber. The moment their eyes locked on the scene, both Damon and Elara stopped dead. This was a factory. Look at the scale, Elara breathed. The chamber was lined with giant, pulsing crystals. Dark Howl shifters, listless and passive, worked under the direction of robed Magi. The Serpentine Magi are using the Blight to enslave the Dark Howl clan, Damon realized. That crystal, it's a captured piece of pure earth magic, being corrupted and weaponized. Elara realized the anti-magic was an abuse of her own lineage. If that crystal is the source, I can try to neutralize it. But then, Damon's boot scraped against a loose slab of stone. A beat later, a piercing whistle echoed. One of the robed Magi figures turned. Intruders, the magus shrieked. Without thinking, Damon roared. He shifted instantly, the king replaced by a colossal, shadow black wolf. As fire bloomed beneath her skin, Elara dropped to the ground near the crystal. The energy backlash was making her dizzy. Meanwhile, back at the Obsidian Keep, Seraphina stood before the elders. The king and the Luna have abandoned us. This earth lineage was a lie. Back in the ruins, Elara saw the robed magus standing above the fight. To make things worse, the magus held a small, familiar silver charm, a charm belonging to Seraphina. Seraphina, Elara choked out. The truth unraveled. Damon. Seraphina, she betrayed us. She's working with the Magi. Damon hesitated as the air thickened. A dark hull shifter landed a blow, tearing a deep gash along the Alpha's flank. Damon stumbled, shifting back instantly human. Bleeding without warning, the Magus advanced. Instead of retreating, Elara screamed. She forced her entire core strength into the crystal. The corrupted crystal exploded in a flash of blinding, cleansing light. The blast sent Elara flying backward. Damon surged forward, shielding her with every heartbeat. He held her tight. "You saved us," he gasped. "I know Seraphina is your enemy now because of that. You owe me more than your word. You owe me everything." Damon locked his eyes on hers, his expression fierce. "I am yours, Elara, and I will protect you from all of them." They ran for hours. Damon was limping badly. Elara tended to his scrapes. "The Magi are scattering," Damon observed, "but the remnants of the Blight, the infection, remains. It will still kill those already afflicted." Elara nodded. "My Earth connection can siphon the corruption individually, but it leaves me nearly powerless to make things worse. I felt the Magi's magic residue on Seraphina's charm." That night, Elara kept watch. She realized the cost. She was now the most wanted woman in the entire shifter world. Instead of feeling fear, a fierce determination settled in her chest. By the time the sun crested, Damon and Elara were slipping through the main gates. Damon was pale, leaning heavily on Elara's shoulder. A beat later, Seraphina emerged. "Your Grace." "The Luna, however, you should have left her behind." Instead of replying, Damon pulled Elara closer. "Silence, Seraphina," Damon commanded as the silence roared, his eyes fixed on her. "The Blight's source is destroyed, and we have the name of the traitor who plotted against this pack. Not only that, but," he paused, "Seraphina, you are accused of high treason and magical conspiracy with the Serpentine Magi." Seraphina's composure shattered. "Lies. This is the work of the witch." "The evidence was found at the Magi's base," Elara stated. Damon made his definitive commitment. "Elara Vane, the Earthbound queen, saved this pack. She is my queen, my only partner, and the one who will lead us in healing. Seraphina will be held for judgment." That night, Elara knelt beside Damon's bedside. "I can't let my wolf fully heal this," Damon mumbled. Elara placed her hands gently on his flank as fire bloomed beneath her skin. She began siphoning the tiny traces of anti-magic corruption. "Why?" Damon asked. "Why did you risk your life for me?" "I risked it because I saw you choose me over your pride. We are stronger together." Damon reached up, cupping her cheek. "I was a fool, Elara, but you are not disposable. You are essential, and I find that terrifying." The climax of the scene was his confession. "I love you," he whispered. "You are my true queen." Elara's breath caught, her voice trembled. "I love you, too, Damon, but I will not be a replacement. I am your partner in duty, and I demand partnership in this." He silenced her with a kiss, fierce yet gentle as the bond pulsed. The kiss was a promise. After their confession, Elara descended into the dungeons to confront Seraphina. Seraphina grinned. "You think you've won, little human? You think destroying one crystal saved your wolves? The contagion will die out," Elara stated. But then, Seraphina smiled, a chilling, genuine look of victory. "The Magi are masters of balance. Luna, the Blight isn't just a poison, it's a catalyst. The moment your pathetic king put you on that throne, he initiated the final phase." Seraphina hissed. "The contagion is now coded to the Earth lineage. The more you use your magic to heal, the more you spread the magical decay back into the pack." Her world tilted. Every time Elara had healed a shifter, she had subtly reinfected them. What's worse was that Seraphina revealed the Magi's plan. The Magi don't want to kill the wolves. They want to turn them into obedient, weak servants. Elara fled to her chambers as the silence stretched. She sat on the floor. "I am the Blight." But then, Damon knocked. "Elara," he called, "open the door. We face this together." She stood up, forcing herself to reject him. "Go back to the infirmary, King Damon," she said, her voice devoid of warmth. "Your presence here is a distraction I can no longer afford." Instead of hearing the love, Damon only heard the coldness. "I am a threat. I am a half-breed who cannot control her destiny. Go. I need time to find a solution alone, and I need to be far away from your wolf's fragile recovery." Without another word, Damon left Elara collapsed, the tears finally coming because she had successfully protected him through rejection. Meanwhile, the symptoms of the blight across the pack suddenly accelerated. The destruction of the crystal had triggered a final, aggressive magical backlash. The lowest point came when she sensed Damon's own wolf. It was weak, muffled, her chest ached with sharp, agonizing guilt. As the truth unraveled, Elara understood, the earth must destroy the moon for balance. Despite that crushing realization, a tiny spark of her core strength flared. If she couldn't cure them, she would use her contaminated connection to create a final, singular, cleansing force. Damon sat in his infirmary, staring at the fire, but then he remembered the look in her eyes, the absolute, undeniable love. He realized the contradiction. He looked down at his arm, seeing a new, faint spread of the decay, a sign that her last healing touch had indeed been tainted. He finally understood the horrible logic of her sacrifice. Meanwhile, Elara was staring out her window. She focused her contaminated magic on the ledge, finding a forgotten route. "I am not disposable," she whispered to the darkness. "I am essential, and I will pay the ultimate price to stop the decay." Fierce resolve. She resolved to draw all the blight into her own body and then transfer the corruption into a single, sacrificial living vessel. That's why she started braiding a rope from the silk curtains. As the wind shifted, Elara pressed her back against the frigid stone. She landed, hard, on the damp earth below. Meanwhile, Damon, using a surge of his alpha energy, forced himself out of the infirmary. He found Jax. "The blight is accelerating. Elara is the carrier, and she is planning to burn her magic out to cleanse us all. Seraphina works with the Magi. We need an army of 2. Jax, secure Seraphina. She holds the key." By the time Elara reached her garden, the fatigue was immense. She realized the only way to cleanse the pack was to draw the blight residue into herself, and then force the transfer into a newly turned shifter or a creature whose consciousness was compromised. Seraphina was the perfect, dark vessel. "Damon," she murmured, "if he could draw the Magi into a final, chaotic battle, it would give her the precious seconds." Meanwhile, Jax moved with silent efficiency. He found Seraphina attempting to bribe a guard. "I am the future queen, Jax, and I am meeting my true masters now," she lashed out with dark Magi magic. Jax, powered by loyalty, ignored the pain, chasing her down the tunnel. At the same time, Damon was racing through the forest with his scent in the air. He caught the faint, unmistakable smell of Elara's magic, intertwined with the sickening musk of the contagion. The air thickened with another smell, the heavy, sulphurous musk of the serpentine Magi. A beat later, he emerged into the clearing. Elara was kneeling in her garden, and standing just beyond her, the remaining 3 robed Magi figures. The air thickened, heavy with the conflicting scents of pure earth and decaying magic. Damon burst into the clearing. "Elara, stop," he roared. "I can't. The blight is coded to my magic." Elara cried, tears streaming. "This is the only way to cleanse it." But then, Jax materialized from the trees, dragging a furious, struggling Seraphina behind him. "Luna, the king needs you alive." Jax brought the conduit. Damon yelled, "We changed the plan. Use her." Damon shifted a final, agonizing transformation into the massive black wolf. He lunged at the Magi, buying Elara time. With every heartbeat, Elara felt the weight of the entire pack's corruption flooding into her, a sick, nauseating surge. To make things worse, the Magi's binding spell hit her. Seraphina saw her chance. "I will take the throne and the power, witch." Hissing tone. The climax reached its apex. Elara grabbed Seraphina's arm, forcing the full, concentrated stream of the blight and the Magi's anti-magic into the ambitious woman. A blinding, cleansing light erupted. Seraphina screamed as the magic consumed her entirely. The cleansing wave ripped through the air, shattering the dark crystals and the Magi's spell. The 3 Magi figures, their power source instantly annihilated, crumbled into dust. Silence. Elara collapsed, her magic spent. Damon immediately shifted back. Rushing to her side, he gathered her close. "Elara, don't leave me." 1 week later, the obsidian keep smelled clean. Damon sat beside Elara's bed, his hand linked with hers. Your magic, Damon murmured, his voice low, its different muted. I severed the strong roots to survive. Elara explained, I still have the earth connection, but it's subtle now I can sustain. Damon, but not fight magical warfare. I gave up the power to save us. You traded the crown for the peace of our people, Damon whispered, raising her hand to his lips. I meant what I said. Elara, you are my true queen. My love is not disposable, and your freedom will be absolute. You are free to leave, but then you would break my heart. Elara smiled, her eyes filled with love. I sought my freedom, and I found my home. King Damon, I may have lost the strength of the Earth Speaker, but then I gained the strength of the Queen. The obsidian keep was flooded with sunlight. It was the day of renewal. Elara stood on the dais of ascension, the cursed crown resting lightly on her head. Damon addressed the pack. We survived, not by strength alone, but by alliance, by honoring the wisdom of the earth and the unwavering loyalty of the moon. The moment their eyes locked across the ceremonial space, Elara saw the depth of his change. I vow to respect your strength, Damon said, his golden eyes tender, to trust the earth and to protect the peace you have won. I vow to ground your power, Elara responded, her voice trembling slightly with emotion, to see the man behind the crown and to ensure our kingdom grows with grace. It ended not with a final battle, but with a final, unbreakable promise. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more epic werewolf romance audiobooks.